Well, hello, welcome to the morning. Here we are again another beautiful Thursday. Today, yesterday marked Intellectual Property Day. We caught up with Desma Charles, who is the intellectual property personnel. And she gave us insight as to the open day. They held an open day at the Huronora House, and we're going to take a look at that. Also, we caught up with Shemmy J. Remember, I told you we are going to be creating a platform where artists gets to release their music and come to us. DBS is happy to fill in that void. And we had another artist who released another song, and of course we are going to be featuring that again today. But first, let's take in the headline with...
Good morning. Prime Minister Philip Pierre delivered his budget address on Tuesday, highlighting a strong recovery in the local economy. However, he has pointed that the double-digit GDP growth and other economic indicators could have been even better if the management of violent crime had not forced government to redirect its resources.
It's unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, that in a budget in which my government has been able to achieve such a strong economic figure, including a growth rate of 18% and a surplus on the major economic indicators, increased employment, strengthening social services, I had to spend so much time and allocate so many resources to the issue of citizen security. This is one of the saddest contradictions facing us as a government as we prepared this budget. This budget has been presented with a mixture of pride and satisfaction at our economic management, but is laced with sadness and disappointment that our efforts have been diverted and our results have been marred by the rise in gun violence and organized criminal disruptions in our otherwise peaceful community. Imagine, Mr. Speaker, how much stronger would be our economic performance had the international and regional and local news had not been carrying stories of senseless murders and gang-related violence in our communities.
The debate on the budget continues later this week. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Philip Pierre has announced the introduction of a new levy. The Health and Security Levy will be a 12.5% tax on goods and services with exceptions and will come into force on July 21st this year. The new levy is intended to allow every citizen to contribute to the pressing needs in the areas of health and national security.
Let me be very clear. This levy will not be imposed on any food items. Let me be clear. This levy will not be imposed on any food items. Nous pas qu'à mettre pièce levy à sous manger. This levy will not be imposed on any food items. This means, Mr. Speaker, that the cost of food should not change because of the levy, unless prices increase from overseas.
The new levy and the VAT relief on some items were mentioned by the Prime Minister as he delivered his budget address for the 2023-2024 fiscal year. Labour Minister Dr. Virginia Albert Poyet says St. Lucia is well on its way to implementing a minimum wage and is remaining hopeful, the minister is remaining hopeful, that it can become a reality very soon.
Well, we have a preliminary report and the committee is finalizing the final report. So we have something that looks like some of the sectors we can begin to address, especially the persons in the low income bracket. I think these are the sets we will tackle first. We want the public to know that it will have serious implications for the employers, for government, because once employers know that they have to increase wages or salary, then it's going to cut back on their profits. So it's not going to be a policy that will go down easily, but it is in the interest of the workers, and we look forward. Now we are celebrating May Day. It's a time that we have to focus a lot in giving workers a fair day's pay for the work that they do.
The minister is yet to provide a time frame for the implementation of the minimum wage bill, but says the work of the Minimum Wage Commission is near completion and the public can expect the Prime Minister's pronouncements on the subject in the coming weeks and months. Residents of Butor, north of the town of Soufrière, last weekend conducted a self-help project to repair the main road leading into their remote community. Road conditions were so bad that motor vehicle drivers opted not to make the mile-and-a-half journey into that community.
This hill self, oh, it was that self. Vehicle would have stopped at the way there and see while they are going lower down.
Our road has been in a deplorable condition, and we saw it fitting to come together as community members to work towards aspiring a common goal, which is making our road better to drive on.
We're trying to help our own self, because when you see
some vehicles might find it tedious as to when you ask them to hire, because of the condition of the road, they might not be able to come, and it was more suited for four-wheel drives. So we want persons with any vehicle, motorbike to trucks, to be able to come into our community and see what we have to offer.
Milo, we have to take out money in their pocket and buy cement, buy ready mix, buy rum, buy food, and still provide the labor to work for our people.
Both male and female, everybody came together and helped in whatever way that they could. Those who gave water, those who carried the concrete, those who blocked the holes. Everybody had their job well cut for them.
we have to make it happen.
And it's one of the very few communities that still have self-help going with them. And persons, sometimes we have more persons than others. People come together, they cooked. Persons volunteered, that one gave lentils. At a short notice, that one gave lentils, that one gave flour, that one gave saltfish. We cooked, and then here we are, working hard.
Another self-help project was undertaken a day later to repair the road leading to the Butor playing field. A fundraiser is to be held on April 30th for a community member who is at the St. Jude Hospital and needs financial support. Those are your top stories. Thanks for watching. Good morning.
Thank you, Kendall. And now for a break, we will be right back. Now, for our first feature, we caught up with Desmond Charles. Yesterday, like we mentioned, marked World Intellectual Property Day, and the focus this year is women and IP. Let's talk to Desmond. And we're here with Desmond Charles. She is the Registrar of Companies and Intellectual Property, and today is marked as World Intellectual Property Day. The theme for this year, I think we focus in on women and IP.
Women and IP,
all right.
Accelerating innovation and creativity.
Wonderful. Of course, women being the focus this year for the World Intellectual Property Day, we saw the need, or you guys saw the need rather, to highlight and recognize one of our very own women within the field of intellectual property, which is Julian Alfred. Tell us a little bit about that and why.
The theme this year being women and IP, accelerating innovation and creativity, seeks to highlight the significant contribution made by women all around the world in various aspects of intellectual property rights, including copyright, trademarks, designs. And what we saw for St. Lucia, which would be well fitting, was for Ms. Julian Alfred, female sprinter, to be recognized and to be awarded a token of recognition for her hard work, for her record-breaking achievements in the field of sport and IP.
Wonderful. All right. Well, we hope to catch some footage from that one. And we culminating with a display. What is going on here? What are we seeing on these tables? What's happening here?
We're in the car park of the Hiwanora House at Point Seraphine in Castries, where the Registry of Companies and Intellectual Property is located. And we have several reading material and paraphernalia to provide to the public, to sensitize them and to provide them with the information available on the role that intellectual property plays and the avenues available to women in particular on how they can benefit from the intellectual property system. So we have some brochures, for example, basic brochures such as what is intellectual property, which would give a general understanding of what intellectual property is and what it entails. On the theme in particular, we have a short brochure which would highlight some key messages on women and IP and how they can accelerate their innovation and creativity. So we have some short points which somebody who reads it can absorb it and feel free to exploit the IP system when they read this material.
I want to ask you though, lately we've been hearing a lot about intellectual property and the protection and the rights and people understanding and knowing how it is that this is a benefit to them, especially within the creative industry. We hear a lot about it in the art form of performers, calypsonian singers. Where are we in terms of St. Lucia and our approach to honoring intellectual property?
In terms of our legal system with regard to intellectual property, St. Lucia's laws are fairly up to date. We have a trademarks legislation, we have copyright legislation, we also have an industrial designs and a geographical indications legislation. We are still in the stages of bringing our patents legislation into full force in St. Lucia. What this legislation does is allow anyone who is the creator of work, anyone who has business and would like to protect the aspects of their business, at the registry you can visit us and we would guide you as to how you can legally protect your intellectual property. With regard to sensitization, we intend to do a lot more with regard to building awareness in St. Lucia among our citizens, to inform them and to educate them as to the role of intellectual property and how they can access various forms of protection of intellectual property.
Right. As part of the recognition today, who are some of the people that was present here today? I believe ECHO would have been on point to be here.
Yeah, so we are collaborating with other stakeholders such as Export St. Lucia. We know we have the women's groups, Helen's Daughters, who are very instrumental in IP, in particular in the agricultural field. We are also teaming up with ECHO, the Eastern Caribbean Collective Organization for Music Rights. We also would like to recognize the Ministry of Gender Relations, the Ministry of the Creative Industries, who are all present here today in recognition of Miss Alfred earlier on.
Wonderful. And on this day, as we wrap up, what would you like to say? Sensitization, of course. We're here with DBS this morning. What would you like to leave with our viewers?
We want to encourage, particularly since the theme is on focusing on women, we would like to encourage our women to exploit the intellectual property system. You can visit the World Intellectual Property Organization website. There's a wealth of information which would inform you as to your rights, as to the things you can do to benefit from the intellectual property system. So I say to women, don't be shy, don't hold back, but fully go out there and make the best of the intellectual property work, whatever work that it is, whatever your business assets are, whatever designs that you have created. I say to you, go fully out there and exploit the intellectual property system.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Desma. Thank you for flourishing us with such wonderful information today. Now our second feature, we caught up with Shemmy J. He gave us his second offering from his upcoming EP. Let's take a look at this. And we caught up with Shemmy J. Of course, Shemmy is on the way to releasing his his debut EP. Right. And we already got a sample of the first track off of the EP. The second one just released today. Is it today?
Nah, we released Friday, but we here today.
Right, we here today. So basically just released the second track off of the EP. Right. And by the way things going, I just said to Shemmy, by the way things going, I said it's not an EP thing no more. We had to do an album now by now. We had to transfer that into an album.
By the way things picking up, the amount of tunes we getting every day, Maureen, looking like an album. That's what we're looking like right now.
So the possibility does exist.
Right. we just had a conversation with management and everything.
Right.
And that's what it looks like, you know.
Right,
Yeah, man. Man
right.
full of things.
Tell us about the second track. I mean, the first one you gave us, Spoil You, and now we're looking at Give Thanks.
Right.
You understand? And I was saying earlier, I made the conversation that, you know what, it's been a while somebody saw the need to erect a sort of, you know, gratitude kind of praiseful kind of song, a party song, that we could be in the middle of the fete and still find an opportunity to give thanks.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, my goal as an artist is to reach everyone, young, old, different religion, denomination, and that tune was just a different one to give thanks. You know, everybody can relate to that. You're going through different struggles daily, but you still have to give thanks.
Absolutely.
And that's what the song is about.
What about you? What are some of the things you're giving thanks for now in your career?
I give thanks for everything. Like from 2015 to now, it's just so much that has been happening with me and my growth and my entire career, and I just had to give thanks for that. Absolutely. I even give thanks to you too, Maureen. Yeah, man. I always have to give
Always
thanks.
the love, man. Always the love. But
right.
you know how it is. When you see potential, you don't stop people in the middle. You push them to reach the full potential, and that's exactly what I saw. So give yourself some praise for this as well. You understand? What's next, Shemmy? What's moving forward? Is this new track? Does it have an accompanying visuals to go with it?
Definitely. That plus more. Big collaborations, more music videos. Yeah.
I want to chide you a little bit. We're hearing a lot about collaboration, and not just collaborations, but big collaborations. You want to give us a little insight? Give us a little something. Or give us like a little reel. Let me see if I could untie it.
Whoa.
Why. Say less. All right then. Say less. If you could untie it, then that's on you. If not, you had to wait. I picked it up, so I know where we're going with this. Well, that's great stuff. That's absolutely amazing stuff. How soon we can look forward to the next release of the album?
Well, Stephen troublesome right now. Big up DJ Stephen. Stephen want to release that next week already, you know.
But why not?
Something called Bird Boss. From a little boy, me mama told me.
Yes.
Get married and build a family.
Yes.
Look, mama, I'm so sorry. Now me have the most birds in the community. They call me
Bird Boss.
Hey, Bird
That tune bad. Let me tell you, I waiting on this one. You know I waiting on this one. So definitely next week. Right. Tell Stephen there. We're doing that next week. Absolutely.
Stephen working every day, you know. Stephen have the artwork and everything for that already, you know.
Well, we are looking forward to it, and of course, you're not strangers, so we're definitely going to keep abreast with what's going on. It's one home. That's home. That's family. All right. Put out your handles for somebody who wants to connect with you wherever they might be tuning in from.
On all social media platforms and distribution platforms, yeah, you can reach me on Shemmy J Official, and that's advice to all upcoming artists. Make sure all your handles is one name, you know, so that it makes it easier, you know, for it to be reached.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I want you to pick up DBS this morning for me, please and thanks, because that's where we at.
Yeah. DBS, okay, Lele. I'm say yes to DJ. Boom.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Thank you, Shemmy. Thank you very much. Yeah. Absolutely.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this morning's SocaCize session. Leading the wine, we have Suzanne from Studio Fit and Healthy 911 and myself, Shani from SocaCize St. Lucia. Let's get ready to flaunt with SocaCize. This morning's workout is a wine and tone routine to Happiness by Ding Dong. Let's get moving. All right, so we're going to begin tap, tap, step back side. 4, 3, 2. Tap, tap, back. Tap, tap, back. Tap, tap, back. One more. We're going to add the arms with that. Let's go. Hey. 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 One more. Stretch those hands to the ceiling. Let's go. Brush the shoulder. Hey. 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 Push. Side. Next side. Happiness. Up. Brush it. Hey. Push. Next side. Third. Hey. 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 Leg on the bird. Hey. Next side. Step it out. Hey. 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 4, 3, 2. Happiness. Let's go. Let's go. Hey.
friend, but a bad mind. We don't want no friendship from them.
Happiness.
Happiness.
Whoa.
We don't even know with stress.
Push.
Dance me a dance and I enjoy.
We're gonna tap.
If you want stand up for your business.
Let's go.
Me clean like some sleep in a bleach. Hey. Some mix for the color of the shade and reach.
Hey.
Versace check me and you see me sheet.
Hey. Let's start the arm.
Me happy like when pick me a play.
Hey.
Happy that I'm on a collect check a play. You with the lot of me happy this year. We happy like a
Happiness. Happiness. Let's go.
happiness.
Whoa. Push.
Mona fear friend, mona bad mind. We don't want no friendship from them.
Again.
Happiness.
Whoa.
We don't even know with stress.
Push.
Dance me a dance and I enjoy myself. If you want
Happy. Happy.
happiness. We don't even know with stress.
Push.
Mona fear friend, mona bad mind. We don't want no friendship from them. Sing again now. Happiness.
Whoa.
We don't even know with stress.
Push. Push.
Dance me a dance and I enjoy myself. If you want stand up for your business.
That was this morning's session. We hope you are feeling sexy, sultry, and strong. Do remember to flaunt today.
And that's our show. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. We'll catch you again tomorrow.